Number 10, here we're asking to again simplify the radical, but this time there are some variables. So let's treat this as two individual things. So we have radical 125 times radical x. We can separate radical 125 into two parts, looking for a perfect square. So it would be 25 times 5. Okay, bring everything else down. Radical 25 can be split into radical 25 times radical 5 times radical x. Radical 25 does break down to just the number 5. Nothing happens to that radical 5 and nothing happens to that radical x. Everything in the radical can now come back together. So it becomes radical 5x inside the radical. So the final answer, square root 125x, can be broken down into 5 radical 5x. For B, we want to split it into its two parts, so radical 100 times radical x squared. Radical 100 can be broken down into just 10. Radical x squared, okay, because there are two x's in here, right? It can be seen as 2 over 2. So this just simplifies into just 1. So the final answer would just be 10x. Next, we have that 80. That 80 can be broken down, and then we have that square root of x to the third. That radical 80 can be broken down to a radical 16 times radical 5. And then we have the x, radical x. Let's leave that alone for now. Radical 16 breaks down to a 4. Radical 5 stays by itself. Now we want to convert that into its exponential form. So x 3 over 2. Notice that 3 over 2 does simplify, becomes x to the 1, 1, and 1/2. The reason why we do that is because now we can just split it. We have the x to the 1 and x to the 1/2. Bring everything else down. Okay. The x to the 1 goes out in front. We have a radical 5, and then the x to 1/2 goes back into the radical of radical x. So the final answer would be 4x radical 5x. There you go.